And now, the moment that some have been waiting for. The lead card for today's Doubles Podcasting Exhibition Tournament. Hailing from Snowtown and Snowier Town, it's Chris Kerns and Brandon Timney. And me? Well, I'm the caddy they both call Daddy. It's Circle 3.
Thanks, Daddy.
Incredible.
Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Circle 3. I'm sorry, I was laughing so awkwardly I forgot how to unmute.
Well
Chris,
done,
your
Paul.
shirt is the perfect shade of green blue that it just so makes you look like Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
Thank you. Actually, in the U.S., we call this a teal.
A
But,
teal.
I wanted to say, as is my newer tradition, speaking of people often called Daddy, today is Tupac's birthday. So R.I.P. We could all use a little more California love in our lives. And I don't know why that showed up on a holiday calendar, but it did. So we should all celebrate.
We're going to get some feedback on that statement.
Yep. And then the actual holiday I was going to bring up.
And on that statement.
Yep. Is today is National Fudge Day.
Oh, yeah.
Is that today?
That is today. I've had a pound myself. And ironically, fudge is often used as a slang term to say, oopsie, or I made a mistake.
Ironically or erotically?
Well, it could be either way. In my scenario, it's ironic because fudge was created by mistake when someone was trying to make caramel. So, there you go.
Boy, that's pretty wide of the mark, isn't it?
Yep. But sometimes big mistakes are awesome. So that's your
North
life
America
lesson.
was accidentally created when I was attempting to make cake.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or, looking for the other side of the world, a better trading ground,
I have to say, Fudge has a sort of a blonde cousin named Panucci, and that's a much better expression when you've stubbed your toe than fudge.
Ooh, the old panooch.
Me and Kimmy Scott Wood, whenever we did it one time as a joke for that little live video we were doing on the page. And now every time me and Kim play together, when one of us hits a tree or does something, we go, Laura Secord. And no one gets it. Laura Secord is this chocolate shop we have here in Canada. And we just thought it would be funny because no one knew who Laura Secord was. And now we say it here when we're playing. And the best part is when people from Canada look at us and they're like, why are you saying that? That's like where I go get my ice cream in the mall food court. Laura Secord. So look up Laura Secord though. She was a badass. Laura Secord was an absolute badass. So
Why don't you go
speaking
with
of
something like John Stamos?
John Stamos, Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh
Anywho.
boy, this is fun. What else should we do tonight, guys?
Speaking of absolute badasses, we have two absolute badasses who have agreed to join us tonight here on Circle 3, and we are very, very, very excited to have them here with us. So with no further ado, let's bring them out on the screen. We've got the Oakleys, Tina and Eric Oakley. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hi.
Stoked to be here.
I'm more stoked to be here.
Wow.
I'm going to
this
enjoy
is a
watching that
competition?
wear off.
Well, if it is a competition, I will say Tina gets the CTP for best background.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
she
say
does.
Eric's background sucks
I
compared
have
to
a
everyone else's
telescope,
here.
dude. This thing
Me
is
too.
out of this world. Nailed it.
Yours is
Thank
more
you.
expensive than ours.
It's kind of like a compensation play, the telescope.
I
So,
feel like Eric's also surrounded by many leather-bound books, and it may smell of rich mahogany.
Maybe. I don't know.
He's
is what
also
I
surrounded
do.
by friends, so we should all be jealous. I am. I just have cats.
Oh,
I have my two Chris's, Chris Clemens and Chris Telesbo.
Two
hanging out.
Chris's.
I guess
Love
I'm an
it.
okay Chris, whatever.
Wait,
Three
a third
Chris's.
Chris. It's a
Amateur
gaggle of
Chris.
Chris's.
Oh,
Oh,
gaggle.
yeah. The C unit. That's what we call ourselves. So,
Is this the content you wanted?
yeah, this is perfect. So,
It's the content we deserve.
we want to just kickstart super original and just do a little background, get to know you guys. And so you guys know each other. How did that happen? That's what I'd like to take the pressure off Eric, and we'll go with you first, Tina.
One day we just woke up and we were married. Just happened like that.
Rohypnol.
As a matter of fact, it was, what was it, 2015, Eric, when we actually met?
I think so.
It was my first year on like my amateur tour, and it was Eric's first year driving the Discmania RV around, and he was at US Women's that year, and so was I.
Columbus, Ohio.
Ohio. Yep. I don't know. I talked to him for about 5 minutes in person. That was about it. And now we're married.
Nice.
That's
So
cool.
Eric, why were you at US Women's?
I was looking to support women's disc golf as being like the Discmania flagship of driving it around, selling discs, setting up a radar gun, and I popped into a lot of tournaments, played some of them, and it made sense because our presence their presence at the time was very poor when it came to the women's side of the sport, so it was a good call to show up there.
Small.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just not present.
I must say, Eric, that sounds plausible. Yes. Well
Possible.
What? Talking about.
I mean,
Eric
I ended
dri-
up meeting a lady there, so it's like
I
it
always
wasn't-
tell him, yeah, you were there to support the women, Eric. Like,
I mean,
but hey, it worked out.
I gotta say, I think that was a good call.
Yeah, I'm glad I went. For
Well,
sure.
speaking
Right,
of
sure.
Eric driving the Discmania van, side note here, I think people need to give Eric as much credit for some of Simon Lizott's trick shots as Simon deserves for those trick shots, because I'm sure driving that van to make that stuff happen was not easy and did not happen in one take.
No, the most known one I think is the bridge shot, where to give reference, Simon is ankle deep in water, and Paige Pierce is off to the side, signaling me because I can't hear him, and then Macie Walker was filming, so it was a whole crew to set that thing up. And usually if we were doing trick shots, if Simon got close early on, they were like, all right, we're doing this because he's got it figured out, he's just that good. And within a few tries he was drawing metal, and I was like, there's no
Can't
way
stop now.
we have to. And it was pouring down rain, and the putters were soaking wet, and he was still able to throw. He's got like lizard hands, Simon Lizard, where he was just able to just throw the disc. It was so cool, and that, to this day, is I think one of the best trick shots he's done. So
We should do a sports science episode on that.
what
Like
are the
Randy
likely-
Johnson hitting the bird.
Yes,
That'd be
for
perfect.
sure.
So
It's pretty fun.
I did want to say a quick shout out or a thank you to both of you. I saw Mark Stevens make a post yesterday. He's our state coordinator in Michigan.
Oh.
That all of so we have a state championships for all of our junior players, and everyone's getting a whale sack in their player.
Yeah.
That's
so-
all
Yeah,
Tina,
it was
man.
cool.
She's
We could do
killing
that.
it.
So that's
Yeah.
super awesome. We've been focused a lot in the state as far as building our juniors program. We've got high school programs that are starting to pop up a lot, but just great to see you guys reach out. I mean, it'd be a no-brainer if you did like Florida or Texas, home states, but reach out to the mitten. That's super cool, you guys.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Oh no, go ahead.
no,
Good
I was
job,
just gonna say. So I know that you guys are used to spending a ton of time together, and this year there's been a ton of time apart, right? So what do you guys normally outside of disc golf like to do in your downtime when you're together? And what are maybe some of the things, Tina, I'm sure, especially with some extra downtime, what have you started to do to keep yourself busy? Eric's spending all
funny.
his time hanging with Chris's, he says. So Chris is just filling his life with joy. What have you guys been doing to keep yourselves entertained, especially through COVID, through all that junk?
And
Well, it's
before-
funny because
Go ahead. sorry.
non-COVID times. We're gonna talk about movies.
Oh yes, exactly.
it away,
you,
Ern.
you knew me. We always went to movies. We love going to movies. And speaking of, Tina rented out a movie theater for my birthday while we were in Portland. And and it was the first time we'd been to a movie in a very long time. So
Year and a half or so.
yeah,
Which
we
theater?
love. what was
On the
it?
Beaverton side of Portland.
Oh yeah, never
Um,
mind.
Yeah. It was cool. It
was
was
so cool.
us and 20 friends went and saw a movie together, and we had the whole theater to ourselves. It was so fun.
It's amazing.
So as a quick follow-up question then, what is it like to have 20 friends?
Actually, it's kind
Asking
of a
for a friend.
problem because we have 20 plus friends, and then we had a couple people like, oh, I didn't get an invite. It's like the guest list filled up so fast. There was nothing I could do.
It was pretty cool.
So, count your blessings because it's probably easier.
And I want to rephrase what I said before, because in no way did I mean that Tina is filled with endless downtime. I meant
Tina has no doubt.
I meant now that you're not touring and you guys aren't together and stuff, you've taken on so much. So I more so meant in a way more respectful way. What is some of that stuff you started to do that's taken up so much of your time and kept you so busy?
Currently, I'm watching kittens play on the steps to my shed. So there's that. Gardening at home. Because I don't have enough stuff to do with my current business, I decided to start another one. So I will have a business here in Florida. I grow food and flowers, so I will be at farmers markets in the very near future. But right now, it's just kind of getting everything set up, learning a lot, investing in dirt because it's all sand here, and actually just remodeled our shed, so that'll be my my growing shed for the it's not off season. That's so weird. The winter. What normal people call the winter, we call the off season.
What New York people call Florida time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's been fun and busy, and definitely a different endeavor. Whale Sax is exploding, but I have 20 plus people helping me
Wow.
do
But
Whale Sax now.
There's
so.
the friends.
Yeah, there's my
the
20
friends.
friends.
And how fast
Yeah.
did that turn into 20? Like, how quick did that ramp up from just you into 20 people?
About the last 3 years, I think. This is our 7th year in business.
That's amazing.
And it was pretty much all me for the first 3 years, with the exception of like my grandma and her neighbor. And then
You
the last.
want to comment on that, Eric?
I'm not handy enough to be helping out, so
I gave him
Not
plenty of
everybody's handy with
opportunities.
sax.
yeah,
He's not interested.
I'm not very good at it. To give you reference of my parents used to refer to my hands as that I had 10 thumbs or Fred Flintstone fingers, and to do and help with whale sax, it's a lot of little stuff.
Plus,
My
he
hands
needs
don't-
his hands to be able to throw frisbees better. So, we definitely tried in the I think a lot of people think that it's both of ours, but we definitely tried like early on
Yeah.
to get him involved, and it just didn't work. And he wants to throw frisbees and play World
Well,
of Warcraft, and
I
that
took
works
on
for him.
I took
and
on most
that's
of the disc selling
Yeah.
aspect of things. So ordering discs and providing that portion of it
and
to
setting up events. You've done that
Yeah.
for us forever.
a lot of event planning, and so I found other avenues to contribute. It was a very slow start where Tina was taking on a lot of the weight, but now it's a lot more evened out, but still not completely even. So it's I'm
You
still
sound like
grinding
you're trying
every
to
day.
like justify what you're great. You play
Yeah.
disc golf and you're amazing at it. And
What
we're all
I'm
proud of
hearing-
you.
Aw.
All of us here are proud of you.
What I'm hearing is some amazing relationship preservation, and I respect that. We could all learn from it.
For sure.
So again, why are these sacks exploding?
I don't know.
I know. I'll tell you why.
I don't get it.
So we've had such a great following, and I would say that our friends, the people that we tour with, and we're on tour with, have been such a great supporter. Those that are sponsored by Whale Sax, and even those that aren't, and that has helped us that has helped Tina's business explode, because they want to support Tina because of that friendship and
you.
the product works. So that's another part of it, is the product actually works. So it's
I
not
know,
just
but it's just this little like.
I know,
Why?
but it's cool,
they're
it's
awesome.
noticeable.
I
It,
know,
it
but
kills it.
And you know what's-
started with the simplest idea and sent it to the moon. It's amazing.
And what's nuts about being in Canada, and Chris will attest to this about being in Michigan, is it works in the winter too. It doesn't just work in the summer when your hands are sweaty. It works in the winter as well. Not a lot of sport bags, because I'll just call the generic ones sport bags or sport sacks or whatever you want to call them. They don't do that. They're packed too tightly. They're in the winter when it's not warm out and it's freezing cold and minus whatever degrees here, they don't work. The whale stack still stays tied around my bag. You have some great advocates up here. One of our top FPO players, Colleen McInnes, she lives and dies by her whale sacks and talks all about them. I know Paige, when she came up here, when Paige came up here for nationals, she brought a whole bunch of whale sacks with her, and we've got lots of love for whale sacks up in Canada. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's very fantastic. You need some Canadian flag ones, and I'll order a whole bunch of them from you and get them up here.
I could do like red and white. I don't know if I can do Canadian flag. It can't be licensed. I don't know if flags are licensed. I don't know.
Oh, we've had American flag whale sacks.
I don't think flags are licensed. I mean,
yeah, you're probably right.
Who owns the flag? It's a debate for another podcast.
I don't want Canada coming.
Oh,
for me.
same brain. Let's go.
If Canada coming after you is the worst of your worries, you're living a great life.
Just don't mess with their syrup, and you're good.
They'll just apologize. We're like, sorry, we have to. Yeah. Sorry, we have to. You can't. Sorry, do that. Sorry.
Sorry, we're gonna give you this. No, you know what? It's okay. Don't. It's probably our fault. So it's all good.
Thomas Gilbert actually showed me like somebody on TikTok, and it's just he's a Canadian TikToker who that's basically he's playing into the stereotype completely, and he loved it, and he had me rolling on the ground. It was so funny. Thomas is basically that same concept.
Thomas is really funny to play with here now, because I've known Thomas for the last 3 years, and 3 years ago when he was at home in the off season, we'd play together. It would just be us out on the course, and every now and then he'd bomb, and people would be like, "Oh, that's a really far throw." And you can't go to a disc golf course in Thomas's home province now without people they'll stop playing their round and they'll just follow behind you awkwardly 100 feet to watch Thomas throw 600 feet on a 900-foot par 5, and it's fun. He can throw a disc.
Yeah, he can. He's awesome.
So I have a question regarding this company. When were we, just because it's necessary that this has to happen, when are we going to see narwhal sacks?
You know what? Fun fact. That is on my bucket list for life, is actually seeing an actual narwhal in real life. So I'm a big narwhal fan. But making a little horn on here might be more work than it's worth. I don't know. What do you think?
It depends. If you play in some of the rougher neighborhoods around here, it really could come in handy. So
make it like a little switch that turns on to
whale shanks.
Those will sell out in Detroit.
Oh my god.
A whole new market.
Suddenly prisons are ordering.
Oh goodness.
Hey, maybe that's the next step, is to explode and get into the prison system.
We're gonna try to get into gaming first. How about that?
Well, think about it. Whale shanks. It works for prison and disc golf. You don't want to shank a shot.
There you go.
Bam.
That's good. That's real good.
Undercover
Someone
marketing.
smudges your prison slipper. Whale shank.
Keeps the blood off your hands when you need them most.
Oh goodness.
Thanks for all the input, y'all.
Yeah.
You got ideas. You have
Very
options,
helpful.
Tina. You have options with the business, so
I'm
it's always
actually
good to
emailed out NDAs just a moment ago, so
What you got is licensing.
So Eric, you see Chris Kerns' shirt right now. Chris, you can show that shirt off a little bit to our viewers here.
Oh yeah.
We got some Disc Golf Strong, and I know Disc Golf Strong's been a big part of your life, Eric. And I guess my question for you is, and it's kind of a loaded question, but how important do you feel that disc golf specific fitness is now that the sport's growing, and stuff that's specifically targeted to the sport of disc golf? Warm-ups, workouts, all of that stuff. How important has it been to you?
Incredibly important. I think it's the next step of taking disc golf and being this professional thing. You look at professional athletes, they have workout routines, they work with trainers, they have nutritionists. It's this big list of stuff that we're slowly working towards, and Disc Golf Strong is that entry level. And Seth has such a incredible knowledge about these things. He's done the research, and he really does care not only about us physically, but he cares a lot about us mentally. So Disc Golf Strong will forever be something that I consider as a part of warming up, as a part of doing exercises to strengthen my balance, my core, and all things that will help me play. Off-season training, and most importantly, the mental side. I know I have somebody, if I'm struggling mentally, I can call him up at any moment and have a person to talk to and work through the mental battles, because I think that's honestly the hardest part about our game, is winning the mental battle, and being prepared for that through Disc Golf Strong will carry me a long way forward. And I know if a lot of other people started diving into it, it would help a ton too.
I mean, yeah, that's the usual progression in sports competition, right? Is you get the naturally talented, who are then displaced by the somewhat naturally talented who work their asses off, who are then displaced with the naturally talented who work their asses off. And at some point, you that's all you're left with, is like the true talents who are really dedicated. And I think that's, we're getting about there. And so then you have to find that thing that takes you one step above the rest, right? How do you work even harder? And this is that, right? Maybe
100%. I think that's completely accurate. It's, you can see we have some naturally talented players, and we have some naturally talented players who have weak mental games, and they sometimes get by and take down tournaments just on their skill set alone, but they take themselves out of tournaments often. So that's incredibly true.
I think what you're talking about is so huge in the progression of the sport with juniors too. Chris, you were alluding to juniors before. We actually, on my local disc golf hub today, I had to answer a question because I was getting so frustrated because someone asked, my son, and I know this kid's great. Like, he's been great. He can throw 400 feet, blah, 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 blah. He's going to start giving clinics. And I had to comment on the post and be like, hey, that's great, but form and technique and all this stuff is super important. And we've got these people who are training to be able to do this stuff. And in Canada, we've got awesome guys like Henrik London, and we've got guys that are training, right? And what we don't have, though, is someone who are training the next generation of coaches and trainers. And I agree with you so much, Eric. Like, for juniors in the sport, it's necessary. And we've talked on this podcast so many times now about training new TDs to open up new tournaments and get more tournament opportunities. I think it's the exact same with training coaches. I'd love to see some programs on training people to pass this stuff on, so that people are teaching kids the right way from the beginning. And I mean, it's great you could throw 400 feet, but I hate that this kid that can only throw 400 feet is going and teaching other people how to go play disc golf with the Destroyer as your first disc and a Valkyrie as your first disc. And it's right. So it's what you said is so important. You hit it on the head about just needing something to boost you to that next level. And I know, Chris, with the scene in Michigan, you've had that huge, right? With some of the OGs there and people you've had to look up to and really help take you to that next level.
You don't know about Michigan disc golf, bro. Okay, first off, back off.
Well, don't pull out your whale shank, bro. Okay, keep your whale shank in your pocket.
No, yeah, I mean, it's we're in an interesting place. All of us are with the sport, and personally, I've benefited from Disc Golf Strong. Like, I downloaded the app and started following the warm up routine. I haven't had a disc golf injury in 2 years, and I think that's just from doing a warm-up routine. And actually, my wife became a fitness coach this year, and so I decided to be patient X, be her first patient while she was kind of streamlining all of her her client process and experience. And we just had the U.S. Amateur Disc Golf Championship, and I played the toboggan 5 times in 6 days, and actually still felt human afterwards. And in previous years I was dead.
The place is big.
Yeah, and it's just with following my wife's fitness program, and I know Seth's the same way. It's like you can not just perform better, but you can have more endurance out there on the course. And She also gave me some good mental cues for somebody. She doesn't really play disc golf. She plays like twice a year, and I think it's just to be a cool wife. But she caddied for me a couple weeks ago, and I missed a putt, and she could tell I was fuming. It was like 18-footer, and it was a straddle putt, which I need to work on straddle putts. But I turned around, I was walking back. She was like, "It's okay. You don't have to compensate or make up for that shot." And it was a good mental cue because it helped me just right away, like, go to the tee pad on the next hole and just not think about that putt anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting how people from a competition or fitness background can come in with good mental cues and not really know a whole lot about disc golf.
Yeah. It's just a strong base of understanding performance. Like it's a really impressive and knowledgeable thing to read, because it's very easy to see people spiraling and going on tilt and pushing themselves to that place where you might have gone on that next tee pad, try to throw a shot that you haven't practiced, and cost yourself more strokes, and then it's just a snowball. And
Yeah,
you're really out there trying to stay cool but not roll down the hill, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. And sure enough, I shot like one of my better rated rounds, and then
Awesome.
she caddied
Nice.
for me for a round of Am Nats, and it like went super well.
Awesome. That's
So
huge.
yeah, but really interested to see if we start seeing more people in the fitness world starting to cross over to disc golf, or even like more, mental coaches, sports psychologists, people like that start going, "Hey, some dude got $1 million a year to play. Maybe I should look into disc golf."
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's a time thing. I know the Pro Tour is constantly working on amazing opportunities through other sports. I know with being on ESPN and being on CBS Sports, that those are avenues that will also help disc golf reach that forefront. So it's all a matter of time. I don't think we fully understand where we're going to be in 5 years, because think about the amount of boom we've had from COVID and how much bigger that is going to be when all of these people now do the pyramid scheme thing. Disc golf is the best pyramid scheme in the world, where they tell 3 friends and they tell 3 friends, and now there's more people playing disc golf. There's more views on Jomez. We're on more ESPN coverage. All of that kind of builds to this incredible situation that we're not ready for, but we'll figure it out.
All right,
Companies aren't ready for it. That's why you guys have seen that most companies are struggling to keep product on the shelves. So it's real. So it's a good problem to have, but we will figure it out, and it'll expand into the professional side in a very positive way.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
got
write these answers down
ESPN.
right now. Oh, sorry, Paul. Paul, you go
I
first.
was just say you named some important: ESPN, CBS, Jomez, and also, of course, the 19th most popular golf-related podcast in Canada. Just to throw another.
Circle 3, bitches.
Circle 3,
All right.
they're getting
Hot,
big.
hot take question. You mentioned a boom in numbers. What is the month and year that the PDGA numbers hit 1 million members?
Month and year. Or we're not there yet, right? Are we?
No, I
That's-
think it's in
that's-
like mid
that's the question.
200,000s.
This is
Okay.
a projection.
Like PDGA numbers. Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Tina?
What are we at now?
I'm gonna check right
200.
now.
Yeah, like 190, 180,
Yeah, it's got to be
160.
close to 200,000.
That's a tiny number compared to.
We are at
You're a tiny number.
182,638. But to put that in perspective, there have been 100,000 people to sign up for the PDGA in like the last year and a half. And before that, there was less than 100,000 people signed up for the PDGA, and the PDGA has been around for how long, right? So
1980.
Hot take. It'll be. I think it'll be that 5 years.
5
I
years.
think it'll be right around. I think we'll keep growing to that point, because you have to bridge that gap of casual players actually signing up for the PDGA. And go ahead, Tina. What do you think?
No, go ahead.
I to wrap it up is that we also need to figure out what kind of is happening within the PDGA to kind of try not to talk poorly, but to fully understand what their goals are, because it seems mixed, where they're trying to still control the professional side of the game, but they are definitely incredibly am-driven, but we still live and die by them in a lot of ways. And that, I think, is a big concept, because they don't want to let go of the pro side of the game, because if they see everybody just going to the pros and we're not really using the PDGA anymore outside of a general umbrella for rules, then they are worried that they might lose out on members. But maybe if there was a way to graduate from, you are a member of the PDGA, that's how you will get aligned with being able to play pro events. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm diving into something deeper that can be a next time podcast. Like I could go. I have very strong feelings on some of these things, and I would much rather.
Don't you mean everything?
Sure. Yes. I would much rather that be a dedicated topic.
You don't have to try hard to get invited back.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm already working it in.
I don't know if y'all should give him a platform to complain about all the stuff he has to complain about.
It's not necessarily complaining. It's just general observations and questioning.
And sometimes complaining. Eric's quote is, "If I wasn't, no, what'd you say?
I don't remember.
It's my job as a disc golfer to complain about everything."
That's what we do as disc golfers. It's never my fault. I can do no wrong.
Boy, are we different.
Well, we're going to give Eric another platform, actually. You warned us not to, but we were planning on it anyways right when we get back. I read an amazing Alta World article today that I absolutely want to talk to you about when we get back from the break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, show some commercials from some of our sponsors, and we will be right back on Circle 3.
Gather round, children. I, Ganfrolf, will tell you a tale of the times before. Of a legendary place, the sweetest spot in all the land, where circles of plastic would appear, glowing from our screens, and with the ritual of the cart, they would appear days later at our doors. The richest colors, the finest discs, and the kindest people. Oh, it truly was a sweet spot for disc golf. Some say this place still exists, its vault sealed, the treasures glittering inside, awaiting the great prophecy of Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that comes again. I hope you will be there.
Sweet Spot Disc Golf. So good, our advertising department writes fan fiction about us. You know that sound. That's the sound of grabbing a Wolfpack at the end of a long week. There's nothing better than cracking open a cold
Wolf?
and feeling that buzz
That's Discraft. Discraft Buzz.
start to take hold. At the end of a long work day, at the end of a long week, reach for us.
Wolfpack Discs.
We'll be there for you. And I'm back. Everybody else is gone, which must mean it's time for the news. This week, there's only one thing of note. Adam Hammis appears to be not the beast, but a beast. You can go see his tournament record if you want. It doesn't really matter. The point is, Worlds is soon. What else matters? Anything else matter? I don't think so. So that's it. If you're not paying attention to Worlds, this is your warning. This is your countdown. Worlds is coming up, and we pretend that it really matters. Enough that we have whole discs about it, and we put little X's after numbers, and it becomes very crucial. So if you are invested in the disc golf competition, world, you might want to pay attention, because if you miss it, your friends are going to think that you're even stupider than they do right now. If you have friends. Actually, I'm mostly just guessing that that's how that works.
And that's the news.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. How about a shout out to Robert Burridge for winning the U.S. Amateur Disc Golf Championship this weekend.
Nice. Also, Deanne Carey, Emerson Key, Paige Pierce all took down tournaments. the bigger ones. Deanne being a really cool one to see as well.
Yeah,
That's,
and my girl Kira took 4th.
let's go, Kira Alexander. Yeah.
Well, while we're giving out shout-outs, I'll give a trilogy shout-out to Mr. Lauri Lettinen, who took down Tampere a couple weeks ago. And a really cool fact about Lauri is, and this is a real fact, I promise you guys, 90% of his disc golf revenue income as a disc golfer comes from people buying his Team Series pack in the game Disc Golf Valley. He has made so much money this year off people playing Disc Golf Valley, supporting him, buying his Team Series pack. And I know he came on the stream, gave a shout out, and I know how much he appreciates that. So I know there's going to be some people on here watching that are Disc Golf Valley players and have bought his pack. So I know how much he appreciates that. And Eric, we got to talk to Pear about getting a... I think there is. Is there not an Eric Oakley Team Series pack?
There is not. There's an Eric McCabe one.
Well,
So.
we'll
Say if he does
talk
have one,
about
he
that
doesn't
one.
get paid.
We'll talk about that Eric Oakley because I'm
less
in with the
attractive Eric.
developers. So
That would be
we need a
fantastic.
sexy
Oh,
felon.
really?
That game needs
I
a felon.
would.
That game
It does.
needs a felon.
It needs the best
For
felons. Let's
sure.
go.
We could
So,
use a whale sack too for that.
Oh, that would be fun.
Well,
Use a whale
speaking of
sack
whale
to like
sacks,
iron out your grip and like make sure it's a perfect shot every time. That'd be so sweet.
so Paul wanted to do a special giveaway this week.
It's
and
true.
He found something really cool.
I took it out of the plastic because the plastic is crinkly. So you'll just
Oh,
have to take my word
ASMR.
on
Come
it.
on.
It's biodegradable though.
It is.
So it seemed like the right
let me
month
turn.
to give
Let me.
this
Yay!
this whale sack away. I don't know how you hold these up.
It's rainbows.
Oh yeah, kill
Joseph
green
in the
screen.
technicolored whale sack.
You can tell they're handmade because the tail looks funny.
The tail looks awesome, and it's incredibly functional. You know, being able to like tie it around the necks of squirrels and then watch them.
It's a cute little
Try to
tie
run
for
away.
them.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
A
Yep.
weighted
Exactly.
tie.
It's a good neck exercise.
It's a dry backpack for a squirrel. But anyway, the point is, we're going to give this away to one lucky live viewer. For those of you listening at home on the audio version, sorry, not this time, friends.
Michael Warner is very active.
So Tina, we need a keyword. We need a keyword in the chat for you to
make
give
it
us
an
to get our
obscure
viewers to
emoji.
type in.
Explode.
But I'm not supposed to tell them?
No, tell them, and then everyone's going to enter that, and we're going to
I
pick
like
a
your
winner.
idea better.
Oh,
If you can
guess
guess
what
the
I'm
secret
thinking.
word. That's right, it's chore list.
The keyword is
The password is
Lithuania.
Compost.
Lithuania. And spelling counts,
Done.
folks.
Lithuania. Spelling counts.
Like
I have
it.
entered the keyword. Type Lithuania in the chat if you want yourself
Actually, I'm going to enter too, so I don't have to ship this.
a whale
thing.
sack.
It's
that's big brain play,
technically
Paul.
where my lineage is from.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't do a background change during halftime there, Tina.
Dang it! Octopus. I'll
It's
just
so good.
stand like. I'll just sit
Unleash
like
the
this.
Kraken. So, Eric, I loved this article that I read today because when Jeremy came on, first off, I think one really cool thing Jeremy Rusko does is come on and talk to Dynamic Disc and Trilogy and the fans about what he's doing and why stuff's happening. And I mean, I follow that stuff pretty closely, even being a little bit of a Discraft fanboy. Still love my Trilogy, and I host my Disc Golf Valley podcast every week, and I'm tight with Bobby and Danny. And
Nice.
I think when Jeremy made the announcement about what Dynamic Disc was choosing to do in 2020, and I'm sure it trickled over to 2021, it was pretty clear, I mean, to me, that you guys were focusing on smarter, not harder, small but mighty, right? So do you want to give people a
I've heard
little bit of
that before.
background? Do you want to give people a little bit of background into kind of how that article came about and kind of what you guys were talking about when it comes to the Dynamic Disc team and kind of your plans and being seen on the scene, if we'll put it that way?
Sure. So we saw this article, and it was a great thing about the DDO and how everything went. And Chris, the author of the article, went into a little portion of that article that felt at the time felt kind of out of left field, and it was like a personal attack, and he didn't mean that. When he was writing it, he did not mean it to be an attack, and that was after we had our conversation. He's like, okay, understanding a little bit more about how you guys feel, I can totally see how the way I worded that and the way that I wrote that came off as a personal slight. So I appreciated him being willing to have that open dialogue and work through it. But it was in a comment about kind of where we are as a team, what is Dynamic Disc actually doing, and you know, we are working towards something bigger, and that's kind of what that article is discussing. That we would like to kind of change and get out in the forefront of what sponsorship looks like. We want to take care of the players that we are growing within the company already. We have a lot of incredible players like Ty Love, Macie Walker, to name a few. There are many more that have incredible opportunities. Anthony and Selma also comes to mind. Just guys and girls that are just young, killing it, have incredible futures in the sport of disc golf. Brian Freese is a gem. Love that human.
I love Freezy.
Brian's awesome.
So we're in this
He's
place where
great.
we're trying to change just what it's like to be sponsored, what it's like to be a touring golfer, and try and, you know, use that as a way to bring in some bigger players. Use that as an avenue to gain more, to bridge what it's like to have your sponsor, you know, look out for you just as much as you are looking out for them. We're creating multiple opportunities together. We're building that relationship to a whole nother level, and that comes from a lot of communication, and we've had to kind of do that a little bit more lately to find those avenues. So it's been interesting, and I think we're getting ourselves into a place where some bigger discussions are going to be had about changing what that looks like when it comes to future discs, whether it comes to team series stuff, whether it comes to future recruitment, and just future in general within Dynamic Discs. Because I know a lot of what we're Hershey girl what we're really hoping for is to, you know, create a lineage at a company like Dynamic Discs, do something incredibly big, and stay there, to have this amazing, I don't know, thing within the company, that loyalty and everything, to build to something really, really big. And I think we're getting really close. We're very, very close. But we got to have those really difficult conversations here soon. But the fact that we're with a company that's willing to have that and work through that, we feel very fortunate to have that.
If you need somebody to role play that with, you can come on here and practice with us.
That'd be great.
We can
That'd be
pretend
great.
to be executives.
Do some practice interviews.
Yeah,
I love that
recruiting.
concept. I love it.
like you're like disc golf business strong.
Yeah.
Call
Why are you
us
guys
whenever
both
you're
wearing
feeling down.
Why are you guys both wearing tuxedos?
Yeah.
Oh, too good. We're going back to Step Brothers references. Do we need more?
Oh,
Hey,
good.
shut up. Shut your mouth. You're just coming off stupid.
I just want to roll you up into a little. Never mind.
So
It seems like disc golf, they're really shift. I just want to make this comment. I've noticed over the last year and a half, companies are really trying to market players more and almost help them build their brand. Is it something you guys are looking at too, as far as like co-branding with your team?
Of course. It's one of the first things that Bobby Brown talked to me about before I signed with Dynamic Disc was, I don't only want to grow Dynamic Discs, I also want to grow the brand of Eric Oakley. I want that to be a thing, and I think we're definitely getting there. I mean, if I were to say, I would say, oh, I'm going to throw a felon, you're likely, my name is something that is kind of synonymous with that. And that's from lots of promotion. That's from me finding success with that disc. And we want that kind of thing to continue to push forward.
So do you ever feel like Innova is encroaching on your brand then? Because they've really associated themselves a lot with the word felon also.
Ooh,
nailed it.
Man, that is nice.
Paul, dude, that's a KO right there, dude.
Speaking of felons, reminder, it is Tupac's
I'm just
birthday.
joshing.
Yes, there you go.
Oh God, Eric, you
Tina,
said
you're
a
having
name.
way too much fun with Hershey right now.
She's funny.
Yeah, she is.
For those of you at home, Hershey is a cat. The cat is alive, and Tina appears to be feeding it fish food.
Eric, you said a name that's come up on the podcast a lot the last couple weeks, and we've been doing some UDisc leaderboard recaps, and the name Macie Walker has been all over these leaderboards. So
Yep.
tell us a little bit about Macie. How did you guys find Macie Walker? And I mean, I haven't seen Macie Walker's name on the leaderboard until this year. So did she just start touring this year? Is this like her first year out on tour?
She's
Well,
playing
and-
some bigger events.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
And the question we really want to know is, did she get a movie theater invite?
She did not. She wasn't in town, and we're not that close with her. But she's a Sac Mountain find. She's out of that part of Tennessee. And
What did you call her?
Sac Mountain?
Melton.
Sac
Sac
okay.
Melton.
Okay.
Sorry. So yeah, it was one of those situations where he mentioned her. He said she's got really good potential, and the one of the best parts is when she's playing at home, she's playing against Heather Young, another incredible female
Good
FBO
competition.
player that elevates her game, and she's got the ability, and now it's about putting in the time at the bigger events to see what she can do. Macie is an awesome person. She's young, she's hungry for it, and she's an incredible person that we're hoping to keep with DD for the long haul.
When we do eventually sponsor an event together, this podcast and Whale Sacs, we are going to need to call it the Sac Mountain Challenge.
It's Sac Mountain.
That's
Yeah,
what we all heard there,
100%.
that she was a Sac Mountain find.
It could be a pro-am, and then we could have more Sac Mountain finds.
Like I was like,
love it.
is this some like Texas slang term I didn't know about?
Oh yeah, down here, Sac Mountain.
Yeah. Like there's not a lot of mountains. Speaking of, I am
The mountains near Sacramento.
The first time you ever call Zach Mountain Sac Mountain, he's just gonna have no
You
idea.
won't even know.
He won't even know. He's gonna be like, yeah, that's my name. Sac Mountain.
Well, I am going to Dallas. I'm flying to Dallas tomorrow at about 5:30 p.m.
Oh,
Okay.
You're from the Dallas area, correct?
I am. I grew up there. Not born there, but spent most of my life in the Dallas Fort Worth
raised
area.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may need a course recommendation. So my mom lives in Gun Barrel City, and yes, that's a real city name,
Okay.
which is
South
about
of
an
Sac
hour,
Mountain.
hour southeast. Well, it's an hour sac east of Dallas. So,
Okay,
looking to hit up a cool
southeast.
course.
Man, I mean, going north to Rockwall would probably be best. Autobahn or Harry Myers are going to be some of your best choices. It might be a haul, but that's going to be really worth it. And I mean, it's where the Nick Hyde Memorial used to be, so it's worth it. And that east side, I like Autobahn. I think it's a pretty cool course. It's in not the best part of town, but it's not like you're from Michigan. You'll be fine.
I'm 30 minutes from Detroit. an hour
Yeah,
from
you're
Flint,
fine.
so,
You've seen worse.
yeah.
Let's
Around here, people carry guns illegally. So
Oh man.
You live in like the Soho of Detroit, Kerns. It's your city abbreviates into a 4-letter name. It's not Detroit. It's not the
Ipsy.
Yeah, Ipsy. It's like I looked it up the first time because I think I tried to like make the Y silent. I was like, how do you say that city name, Chris? Is it like Silanti? And these guys laughed at me for like 30 minutes. And what is it? Ypsilanti? Is that it?
Ypsilanti. Yep.
Ypsilanti. But I looked it
On
up.
that
and
18-foot
I looked
putt,
it up, and
though.
it looks like the Austin of Michigan. It's like all.
Oh, it's so not. It is not at all. I live in the township. It's very important. If you come here, you'll understand why I stress township. But anyways, back to these beautiful guests. Enough about Silanti, Michigan.
Silanti.
Should we get some Tina time in here? What do you got? How you guys feel?
Tina time. I like this. I want Tina time.
Aw.
Little double
Miss you
T.
too.
Yeah.
You know, I do actually have. Before this podcast, we spend minutes preparing, and
Minute.
I do have a question here that we came up with, that I came up with. Any relationship is any good relationship is a partnership, and any bad relationship is a court battle. So, when it comes to your relationship with Eric, what is it you would say that Eric could do better with regards to everything? And don't worry.
I thought you meant better than me, and I think disc golf's about the only.
No, that's the easy question.
Love you,
This is where
Eric.
we get
I love you
personal.
too.
Disc golf and World of Warcraft. What he can improve on in life in general.
Yeah, and again, we won't share your answers with him. So go ahead and be honest.
Okay,
not
so
here.
He can't hear you
Okay.
anymore.
it sounds
Well,
like he
that's a
might be
lie,
able
but
to
ignore
hear
it.
still. All right, number one thing for Eric to improve on, volume. Overall volume.
Like you don't
just-
have enough Erics? You need an additional Eric or two?
Multiplicity.
Could you imagine having two Erics in one room talking to each other about disc golf?
Some
That's
people
my
would pay
nightmare.
double
Try.
for that kind of action.
That's my
Basically, it would sound like this.
Oh, it cut it
Like-
out right away, Eric. It,
Good.
like,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
For a split
That's a
second,
kind
and then was
microphone.
like, no.
It is. Good.
Oh, that's funny.
So I was reading an interesting little tidbit, and it came from Ladies First, and you were the
Jenny.
May 2020 Lady of the Month.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Wait,
right.
May 2020. Oh, that was last year. Oh yeah. Yep. Thanks.
And so one thing that stuck
I
out
was a
to
lady
me,
of the month once.
I did. Well, Eric did tell us beforehand that you're his Lady of the Month every month.
Heyo.
Frickin' better be.
No matter where
Didn't
you're
say
at,
anything
Tina,
about Lady of the Day.
I mean, Tina, my mom or stepmom could maybe fill in.
Yeah. No matter where you're at, Tina, the moral of the story is you
Or
are not
stepmom,
alone.
their mom, but
Boy,
whatever.
Freud would have
Discounting.
fun with
But,
that one, Eric.
So I wanted to ask you, there was a prototype bunny sack that you made. Why
I
not
have a
move?
Go ahead.
I was
Continue.
just say, wait. Why stick with the whale sack? Have you made other prototypes?
So the bunny was a precursor to the whale, actually.
Hmm.
I only have a photo somewhere in the way backlogs of whale sack land. And that's where the idea for the whale came in. I've had a thing for whales since I was a kid. Like, we saw whales in Maine when I was younger. I had like little whale tail earrings, and my grandma took me fabric shopping when I was super young and got this fabric, which I'll show you in a second. And I just had that laying around, and I made my first whale sack, but it wasn't a whale sack yet, with that fabric, right? Then I had a friend come over, and I like made him a couple in Portland for Worlds that year. What, that was 2014 or 2015, 2014, I think. And I accidentally made a bunny, and I was like, oh, look, it's a bunny. And I like put like, little eyes on it, you know? And he actually, realistically, Aaron's the one that came up with it. He was like, what if it was just a whale? And that was
Nice.
the end of it. Let me show you I have two of my prototypes sitting
Ooh.
around. Oh, I do have the sperm one. Look at that.
Circle 3 Premiere.
So this was the first ever, and it's not a whale, but you see this little whale fabric? How cute is that?
I think you
had
should have
this-
just stuck with that, honestly.
It
I know.
identifies as a whale.
Is that nice? You like how that looks? Look how old this looks.
That's a
But
whale of
this
a sack.
fabric, I've literally had since I was like 11 or 12, I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so this used to tie onto my bag, and this was the first one in existence 5+ years before Whale Sacks was born.
All
Isn't that
for
crazy?
Zen piece right there.
This is the sperm one.
Now we're talking. I like it. That's a very happy one. Happy.
He's very happy, but it's not great.
I wonder why.
And this
It's
doesn't
well,
work.
it's the kind of happy where it's not going to be the best swimmer. You know what I mean? It's going to swim on an angle.
But he tries. He tries.
Yeah.
Really hard.
So
He's the. Do you know who Lloyd Wema is? He's the Lloyd Wema of whale
Oh
sacks.
man, got it, Brandon. I love it.
So I
Oh,
also,
man.
Tina, you mentioned whale sack land, but I think you could just call it Sack Mountain. So I wanted to tie that in.
Sack Mountain. You gotta
Also-
throw some,
That's what I meant.
twang in there. Sack
That's what
Mountain.
I meant. Sack
Sack
Mountain.
Mountain.
Say
It does.
Sayak Mountain.
I saw one of the
Say it.
courses you always wanted to play was Flip City. Have you played Flip yet?
No.
I have.
Simmer down, Eric. You're next.
Yeah, shut up, Eric. You got
I done it. I know Michigan Golf. I did it.
I have two, but check this out. So I live about here,
Okay.
and Flip City's about here.
For those
So-
listening at home,
Is it-
Chris is
That's the
not making
mitten,
any
by the
useful
way.
Okay.
gestures.
He's just not
So-
wearing it.
So, okay, I am from here in Wisconsin.
Ah,
Wisconsin,
okay.
Oh.
Wisconsin's like the other mitten, right?
You could have
there's
just
like that
swam
little
over. Yeah.
And I am from the other side of it, almost Minneapolis.
Well, there's only
Wait,
one mitten.
maybe
I
it
mean,
is
we're
over
a
here.
we're a peninsula, so sorry.
He's proud of
Not
his
sorry.
state so bad.
Yeah.
Proud of his mitten.
We have two peninsulas. Okay.
Yeah.
Name another state that can rock that.
We're still trying to get Tim Allen to do the intro for the podcast and give us like
How's that
some Michigan strong stuff. Sorry, Paul, I didn't
Yes.
tell you about that.
Yeah.
We're waiting for a sober one.
Taking away my single use here.
So
Oh.
I did want to ask you a little more of a serious question. I saw some of your passions about traveling is one, the scenery. So I'm curious, like, some of the courses you think have the most beautiful scenery, and also I saw that you really like to just have random adventures and stops on the way. Is there like that best random place you hit on tour, that spot you fell in love with?
Favorite courses? Milo McIver. For the course itself, like the view isn't like spectacular. It's just these massive trees and this beautiful course, and the whole thing is green and by a river. That kind of like pretty. Otherwise, Smugs in Vermont.
Oh, I need to go there.
Eric and I almost got married there actually. Like
Good.
that was
Ooh.
our choice, and then we ended up getting married on Nantucket.
Such a
Which
bummer.
was fantastic.
That was amazing. I'm kidding.
But
Yeah, that's
the
kind of
Green
still a
Mountains
legendary
are-
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Green Mountains are incredible. So you get the courses, you get the view. The courses are fantastic, and then also the view is awesome. Favorite like accidental stops, or like
Or just a surprise, just adventure, someplace you found on the road. Or if there's a spot when you're traveling, you always have to hit it.
okay, like Big Sur, but specifically just south of Monterey, California is Carmel. And
Ooh.
it's like between Monterey and Big Sur. And obviously maybe not obviously. Big Sur is fantastic.
Ugh.
Holy crap. If you even just get a chance to drive along Highway 1, just do it. It's worth $1,000 just to
So
go
cool.
and drive it. It's incredible.
Okay.
But Eric and I needed to desperately show him Big Sur because I went with Peter and Paige and James Conrad, and we had an amazing trip. So Carmel is like the beginning of it, and has this really cute town with all of these art galleries, and
Super
the
cool.
beach is right there too, and some really cool bars. It's a really cool scene. It's a little, uppity or whatever, but worth the trip. It was cool.
Nice.
Little known fact, Mackinac was actually founded when they were trying to just reproduce Carmel. So we got Mackinac Island.
I've been there.
Fudge
Mackinac.
joke.
Come on, man.
That's-
Mackinac.
Whatever. Look, I'm here for color. I can't read.
No, it's a great place.
Are we getting Paul hooked on phonics? Is that what we need to do?
He pronounced it like it looks though, so I don't think
Yeah,
it's a
look,
reading issue.
I
it's
lived
a
in Wisconsin,
pronunciation.
and I still didn't care about Michigan. I'm sorry.
I love
Oh,
that
Lake
area
Michigan.
too, though, Tina. I'm from Canada, but I'm lucky enough to work for a large American company whose headquarters is in Cupertino. So My
Cool.
favorite place in the world to stay when I'm down that way is in Saratoga. It's this tiny little town about 20 minutes south of San Jose and like the Coop area. And when you talk about those like little hoity-toity posh, like it's so nice. And the 15-minute drive from there to the campus and to get into like Cupertino itself is just like the most beautiful drive. It's like the
scenery.
drive where you're like, I hope I get traffic, so I have to just like sit and like
So you
enjoy
have
the
time to
scenery
absorb it. I know.
a little bit longer. It's so incredible out there, and the drive through the redwoods. And if you're scared and you get car sick, make sure you're the one making that drive, not the one in the passenger seat, because it is scary as hell.
It is a
but-
gnarly drive. We did it in
We
RV.
did it in the RV.
Oh my
RV
God.
towing a car, dude. It was
Oh my
nuts.
God.
No, we separated. Remember?
Well, I drove part of it with the car on. I'm
I
almost
remember
That's
disconnecting
nutty.
because it was terrifying.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I mean, you're literally like here, and then there's like, "Ew,"
Dead.
and then it's straight drop off,
Ocean.
and then ocean. It's like it's intimidating in
It's
an
right
RV
here.
for
Just
sure.
couldn't say hi.
So
Death
talking about
putt.
death
Yeah.
putt. Talking about geography, you guys have been so many places. You've lived so many places. I want to focus on two specifically, and I want to ask you, Tina, what does Florida have that Portland didn't, and what does Florida not have that you miss from Portland deathly? Kombucha?
So we love kombucha, but my neighbor makes kombucha. Which
Oh,
is
that's awesome.
amazing. Yeah, and she's awesome. Okay, so we're in Pensacola. So we're actually like way north Florida, almost Alabama. We're not in Alabama though. We're just like an hour from the border, maybe 30 minutes even. We're really close. But this Florida isn't your typical Florida. A lot of it is. Like the people are, but and the gators are, but we still have like a couple freezes in the winter. It still gets chilly. It snowed here one time, like 2 or 3 years ago. But generally speaking, our winters are still like sunny, and we get big storms, but sunny, 65, 55 sometimes, but there's still sun all summer or winter. So, and I call it summer every time because it feels like summer. And so that was a big part of why Eric and I decided to settle here, was we knew we could train all off season with no issues at all.
Yep.
Also, it's super cheap. So that helps. We have 2
Nice.
houses, but they're not very expensive at all.
And they're nice houses.
It's
We
like-
didn't get like cheapos. Like we did it right. That's the kind
Yeah.
of cooler part.
Yeah.
So
like,
are you guys next door to each other right now?
No, I'm in
wish.
Utah.
Oh.
I wish. He's really far away right now.
I know. I
Aw.
get to see you here on Saturday though. It's gonna be great.
So the reason I bring up those 2 things is because Portland has fantastic, amazing people and food. You can get
Aw,
along
thanks.
with pretty much anyone there. What?
Paul's fair.
Yeah.
That's
love
who
it.
we met Paul at Portland Open.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, whatever. Okay, fine.
And as we've mentioned on the
Water.
podcast before, it's got Blockbuster. So, I mean, like, hello, Bend. I'm going to make a trip there just for Blockbuster alone.
We watched a documentary on that. There's a documentary on
Yeah,
that.
we talked about the Netflix.
Super
It's awesome. It's
interesting.
so
Yeah,
good.
super interesting. Yeah, so Portland has bonus food, bonus people, and then on the opposite side of that, there's like 5 months of rain, and that's when we would be home if we did live in Portland. And also, holy crap, is it expensive? So we would not be able to afford the first house we bought, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, and we have land too, like a little bit. I mean, we have like a 1/4 acre over there, and not quite a half over here, but you know, there's no way we'd be able to afford anything like we have here. So that's a big perk.
Yeah, it seems like Portland's real estate strategy has been to try to keep the Californians out by making it cost the same. It's not working.
Interesting. Yeah.
All right, well, just before we man, time has flown. You guys are fun.
Yeah, holy
This is
crap.
Incredibly fun. This is
So-
great.
I'm just curious, one, if you guys want to plug, obviously, your brands, but also like, what should we look out for you guys for the rest of 2021?
That's a great question. Do you want to go, Tina? Ladies first.
Ladies first, disc golf. Ooh.
Nailed it.
Yeah, plug.
.com.
Man, like from us, so much. It's been kind of fun with the growth. It's also been intimidating. So for whale sacks wise, we're trying to do a lot of fun things that businesses like maybe forget to do when they grow. We're about to do a little art contest. We have like these Pokemon cards for our touring players that are collectible, and
That's wicked.
it's like a game, but it doesn't actually work. But it's funny. They're like actually like little Pokemon cards, and just like fun stuff like that. So we're trying to just have fun and not take ourselves too seriously, even though there's a whole lot of work going on.
Nice.
But if you didn't know, Eric and I have a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
YouTube.com/whalepants. We do a live morning coffee every Tuesday at some time. It changes. It's usually around 9:30
we have to change
Central.
that for this week because World starts Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out.
Do it live
Um,
during your round.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
there we go. Hi, I'm here with Eric. Well, I'm gonna be caddying for Paige. I don't know how that's
Just
gonna
GoPro.
work out.
Have the GoPro on.
Yep.
I could. And then we also do Twitch. So, well, I've been playing Skyrim. I'm doing a playthrough of Skyrim, which will last the rest of my life. And then Eric plays Rocket League and WoW. And that is twitch.tv/AROC
Okay.
AROC Oakley. And also I have a garden business now. So Sun
Ooh.
and Soil Gardens on Instagram.
And we'll make
Nice.
sure we put all of this in the podcast description on Apple
There's
Music,
so much.
Spotify. Give these people some love, folks. We're hearing a lot of love in the chat saying best disc golf couple of all time. I
Hey,
think
These
we'd
are all
have-
our homies.
think-
Yeah.
No, you don't know Michael Warner.
Yeah, we do.
Do you actually?
Yeah,
Oh, what's up?
he comes to our coffee.
Quick thought, just a little light bulb in my brain, Tina. Maybe at some point, a video about good, nutritious tournament day meals with your own garden products.
I could totally do that. I'm making some good stuff these days.
Damn.
But
Good
also
thought.
Big brain.
Thunderbird bars.
Ooh.
That's disc golf food.
You make
Eric,
Thunderbird bars
got-
in your garden?
Yes, I'm very, very talented.
You have to
I
get
have
thunder
almond
seeds
trees
first.
And Eric,
So
you got
Eric,
anything
what
to
about
plug?
you?
Go follow me at the Eric Oakley on Instagram. It's the best place. Got a lot of stuff coming out. The tour series. We actually have classic moonshine wardens that have my
Ooh.
stamp on them. There was a special release for the Portland Open that you might still be able to find some on the Disc Golf Pro Tour website, and then there will be a special run for me to plug Clemens as well. He has the classic moonshine judge coming in. It's going to be a sweet stamp. So there's a lot of really cool things that we're trying to do to grow the brand. So make sure you check out Dynamic, but most importantly, check out whalesacks.com. Go to whalepants.com. We have a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah,
and
all that stuff
we're-
supports us directly. So
and we're
Sac
really
Mountain,
trying
baby.
to Sac Mountain, but we're really trying to grow and diversify our products to offer our fans just about anything and everything that they might want to have to improve their game or just be awesome human beings at life. So it's
yeah,
all
we
good.
just added shirts.
And before we head out today, we'll show some love. This is whalesacks.com. You guys can head over
Ah, thank
to
you.
Whale Sacks. You guys can check out the touring team. You can find out all about Whale Sacks. You can head to the Circle 3 link tree and we'll post some of the links that Tina and Eric were just talking about in our link tree for this week below our latest episode. So if you guys want to go to any of those awesome things they were talking about, those will be in the link tree right from the Circle Tree bio on Instagram, instagram.com/CIRCL3 cast. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Before Oh, I'm not going to leave the screen yet because I got to give away that whale sack.
I was just gonna
Let's
say,
see who's
Michael
taking our
wants that
pride whale
You don't
sack.
have to. I kind of like it.
12 people correctly spelled Lithuania.
Good job, guys.
And the person taking it home is Mr. David Carter, DC himself. Congratulations,
No
kidding.
David
Very
Carter.
Let's go.
Way
Take it
to
home,
spell, man.
Beautiful whale sack. Way to spell Lithuania. Who knows? David might be from Lithuania himself. And we
Family.
gotta give our shout out to our sponsors, Sweet Spot Disc Golf. Much love to Sweet Spot Disc Golf for
awesome.
the love
And
they
you can buy
give
whale
to
sack
us here.
from Sweet Spot.
Damn
Yeah, we did
right you
customs for
can.
them.
And some love to Wolf Pack Discs, Mr. Brian
Awesome.
Frawley, Brian Wolf. Huge love for them. And huge love again for our guests here on the screen. Thank you guys
Thank you so
one
much,
more
guys.
time. Such a fun time.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
This has been
Good.
awesome.
Yeah,
Hope to
this
come
is
back
really
on
fun.
sometime soon.
Happy
You
Fudge
guys are
Day.
welcome anytime. Brandon said you guys were just turds, and I'm like, this has been so much fun.
Okay.
And
Sam said he said that though. Like I get it.
I
I
did not
wish-
say that.
I wish you guys the best of luck on your World's experience.
Thank you.
And I'll be a staff member at D-Glow, so if you're
We'll
gonna be
see you
in
then.
town,
I will be.
Look forward to seeing you. I feel like you have, Eric, you took the best genes from me and Brandon and just combined them all for yourself. That's kind of the vibe I get when looking at
Hey.
your face.
It's not
We
too
have,
bad.
we have a pro up here.
We are good looking. Let's just put it that way.
We have a pro up here. His name's Chris Ozelins. I don't know if you've ever met him, Eric,
Mhm.
but
I have-
they call Chris the Eric Oakley of Canada.
Oh my
that's
God.
So
wonderful.
and he just
Eric Mapley.
Eric Mapley.
I
but
like it.
but it's funny because he'll be here and people will actually ask him like, "Are you Eric Oakley?" And he'll be like,
Oh.
"No, but I am actually one of the highest rated disc golfers in Canada, and I'm not Eric Oakley."
How about Eric Oakley?
Well, thank you
Like 'em
guys so
both.
much, Eric, Tina. It's been a pleasure. Paul, always a pleasure. Is it raining right now?
No, man. It's beautiful here the other 7 months. Don't tell anyone.
There we go.
Yeah.
Chris, hope Silantes treating you well.
It's great. The one-eyed city.
No champ fuel tonight? Like,
Yipstown.
what's up with that?
What's that?
No champ fuel tonight? What's up with that?
Oh, I finished it before the show, dude. I'm flying out of town tomorrow. I've had a crazy day. I had to ship like 70 discs after work, and then I haven't even packed. I got to pack after this, and then go into a coma and get up at like 5 a.m. So
Well,
Then I have a
Respect.
coma scheduled and
scheduled coma for however long it lasts.
yeah, I'm all about
That's what
life
successful
strong.
people
That's
do.
how I get down.
There you go.
yeah.
Well, this was Circle 3. We hope everyone has a fantastic night. We will be back in 2 weeks, and we actually have some fantastic guests planned for the next month and a half worth of podcasts. So, Eric, Tina, Chris, Paul, and Brandon dropping out now. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic night. We'll see you on the flip side.
Au
Bye.
revoir. Rest in peace,
Hasta la
Tupac.
next time.